4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, everybody. Suzy Woo here. Nice to see you. You can expect to get a lot more content here on this channel. So I'm going to be giving you Suzy snippets. I am a metaphysician, a healer, medium, medical intuitive, super, super sensitive, and I teach everything that I know. So in today's snippet, I wanted to share with you about the current energies that we are going through. This is not going to be a super astrology themed video. It's going to be a super easy video to follow, and it has to do with our own sensitivities. So I'm not just talking about emotionally being sensitive, but energetically sensitive, psychically sensitive, being really empathic. I mean, that's really what it means to be a-sensitive versus being sensitive. It's a noun versus a descriptor. So if you can feel like if somebody is really suffering and you really feel and you want to help them, then you're super sensitive. So I made a wonderful post last night. I get these inspirations and I always want to share them right away. And I write them down all over the place, but I want to put them in one place. And so let's put it here on this channel for you. You have had lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of lifetimes. This is not your first rodeo. You incarnate with a soul group. So this group of souls incarnate with you over and over and over and over. All of these souls are not always your friend. Sometimes they're the villain in your story. But at the end of your lifetime, my understanding, it's like at the end of a play and all the masks come off and everyone comes out to take a bow. So at the end of the lifetime, like as you're going to transition or during that transition, it's like, yeah, you had to be that person this lifetime. Yep, see you next time around. And it's a beautiful thing, actually, because that soul is helping you fulfill something that you wanted to experience in this lifetime. So everything is extremely divine and in divine timing and actually perfect, which means you are perfect. Now, your computer, your brain does not give you the perfection. It's not that kind. This is a divine perfection. What I really want to talk about, though, is all of these past lives that you've had. I liken it to a whiteboard, that you put the dry erase markers on. If you've had a whiteboard and you've been writing on it heavily and using it for, let's say, 10 years, you're going to get what's called ghosting, where you see some of the old stuff that was written on there. And you can't get it super white clean again because it's been so used, which is not a bad thing. But what happens is some of those old writings are like some of your past lives. So you get these little expressions that show up every now and then. And you're like, oh, I don't know why I reacted that way. Like, that's not like me. And it's kind of because it's something you've experienced in another lifetime. Let's use an example. So let's say in a past life, there was this very large, tall, big boned woman, and it was my mother, and she beat me relentlessly, and she locked me in my room and wouldn't let me have any friends. So in this life, so that's a big deal. So that's kind of like a crisis-y thing, or something that carries a lot of weight, something that really leaves a mark in somebody's life. So let's say I'm here in this lifetime now, and I see a large, big boned woman. I might feel all kinds of intimidated for no reason, seemingly. And it's because of that past life memory in my multidimensional DNA. So you know that you are not you're not two-dimensional like a piece of paper. You're not just three-dimensional with three dimensions. We're also, and time is just an earth thing. So time doesn't exist when you're not in Earth's gravitational field anymore. So forget time. So everything is now. So you can actually rewrite timelines, go figure, to help you have better outcomes today, which also would impact your future and your next incarnation. I find it really fascinating. When you meet somebody and you feel that you've known them your entire life, that happens with soulmates, it happens with wedding couples, it happens with best friends. They feel that they've known each other their entire life. It's because they're in your soul group. And most likely when one of them was dying in the past life, they're like, yeah, I'll get you next time. And that happens a lot. And people that are aware of that, if I'm lucky enough to have them as a client, I can see that. And not from looking at them, I see it more psychically. And I'll tell them that. So all of your big significant things that happen in past lives are present in your DNA. So when you see somebody or you go through an experience that feels very familiar, it's almost like you're having a bleed through from that lifetime, or you're seeing the ghosting on the whiteboard. So it is resonant. So all of a sudden, I remember that was my horrible big mom. Now this is fictitious. This isn't really my story. And in this lifetime, I see this big woman. I don't know why I feel intimidated. I'm a happy-go-lucky person, but it is resonant. So it's like the stature of this person. It's resonant in my memory, but it's my multi-dimensional memory. So I'm reacting. It's the same premise is from people who cannot stand or have a phobia around tight things around their neck. Like I can't stand is it turtlenecks? I used to like those cowl necks, the big loose ones. I can't stand having anything around my throat. So if you're one of those, then most likely you have been hanged, you have been choked, you have been strangled. And what is fascinating? Let's go back to that example of the big boned woman. And in my fictitious past life, that was my mother who beat me and kept me from having any friends. So in this lifetime, here's this woman, and maybe she's my teacher in this lifetime, and I feel very intimidated, and I go into fear, and I can't even be myself around this teacher. Well, that is there to help me recognize, am I in danger? No, it's a teacher. But we're going to get these kinds of things. So there's the resonant, and it's a resonant fear. Then it's up to me to decipher, to actually investigate. Like, why do I have an issue with this lady? And you got to do the deep dive. So if it's as simple as, nope, it's just a teacher and you just, okay, and I'm all right, and you can put it away, then that's great. But for some people, it's a lot deeper. And every time they're around this person, they get the willies or something like that. So it could be, that there's been a different kind of a violation to your person in another lifetime. But what's going to happen is there's going to be similar circumstances, those patternings, people who want to control you, for example. Things like that will continue to happen in your lifetime that is resonant with that. Now, we are in a planet of free choice. So you can either decide, I'm going to react, or I'm going to investigate and see if I can disprove this fear that I have. To graduate or heal that wound, it's kind of like cross-canceling it out. I don't even know if that's the right term, but that's what I'm intuitively getting, is that, lost my train of thought, darn it all. So continuing to get those resonant traumas, because I have free choice, I'm either going to react or I'm going to do something about it. Now, if I don't get it right, if I don't complete that, if I don't get to the bottom of it and I'm just reacting, then that's going to happen even deeper in my next lifetime. So I might marry somebody that wants to control me. Now that did happen in this lifetime. But the choice is, am I going to stay in this for my fears, or am I going to break that habit, break that pattern, break that conditioning? So everybody has that choice all the time. You always are in charge of your own life. You are a creator. So you are creating your reality. So somebody else might love this teacher, and for some reason, I'm traumatized by this lady. So it doesn't seem rational. And that's where people can try to talk you out of things, or maybe you need to go see a psychiatrist, and there's nothing wrong with you. And that's why we're moving into a more alternative, holistic way of treating people. So I hope that makes sense for you. I would love your comments, feedback, and emails. I'm going to keep these videos nice and short and just a little bit food for thought. Suzy Snippets. I am Suzy Woo. You can find more on me at my website, which is SUZY-WOO.com, because I want you to live a life that makes you want to say, woo! See you next time.